Hello friends, welcome to my channel. In first part we saw how to make this first triangle. In second part we saw how to make this second triangle and first fan. In this third part we will see how to make this second row of the main pattern. It involves making this third triangle while simultaneously making this fan and starting this second row. So friends, let us continue with this project. For those who haven't watched the first and second part, I will put the link to those two videos in description. You can watch these videos to learn how to make this triangle and fan. I have already made this triangle and fan to save time. You can refer part 2 to learn how to make them. In this part again we have repeated second part. Now here we will create one more fan of second row. After joining all the picked stitches of this fan, we start with the picot stitches, that is when we will also start with the fan of second row. I have completed this pattern from triangle to picot stitch. Now let us see how to create ring and hooks for second row. First we will make 3 chains, 1, 2 and 3, and turn our project, and then slip stitch in first gap, again 3 chains and slip stitch in same gap, one, 2 and 3, slip stitch in same gap. Now one more time 3 chains and slip stitch in same gap. This is our first picot stitch. Now slip stitch in next gap and again slip stitch in next gap to bring thread in this gap. Here we will create first ring and join in second picot of this fan. First 3 chains and then slip stitch in third gap. Now instead of continuing with 3 chains and slip stitch, we will make some changes here. We will make 8 chains and join with second picot stitch of this fan here. In second part we have joined ring to the third triangle, but here we don't have triangle, so now we will create ring from second picot. Instead of 3 chains, now we will make 8 chains, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 and 8. Now we will turn our work and join 8 chains to the center of this picot stitch with single crochet. Here we have created our first ring. Now single chain and turn our work, and now 5 single crochets, 1, 2, 3, 4 and 5. Now here we will create small hook, chain 3 and then single crochet. Now 4 single crochets, total 5 single crochet before hook and after hook. Here we have created our first ring and first hook. Now let us continue our picot stitch. Now single crochet in picot stitch. Now we will continue our picot stitch. Make 3 chains and slip stitch in same gap. This is our second picot stitch along with ring and hook. Now slip stitch in next gap. Again slip stitch in next gap to bring thread in that gap. In this gap we will create one more ring and hook. Now make 3 chains, 1, 2 and 3 and slip stitch in this gap. Now here we will create second ring like this. For that make 8 chains and join that ring in this hook, and after that again 8 chains and join that ring in this picot stitch, center of picot stitch. Now let us continue our second ring. For that make 8 chains and then turn our work and join that ring in first hook with single crochet like this. Now again make 8 chains and join that ring in center of this second picot stitch. like this with single crochet. Now make one chain, turn the work and make 5 single crochets. 1, 2, 3, 4 and 5. Now we will make a hook with 3 chains. After that 5 single crochets, 2, 3, 4 and 5. Now here we will continue our single crochets in next gap of this ring. Again 5 single crochets in this gap of second ring. Now we will make 5 single crochets here. Now we will turn our work and continue third ring here. Now chain 1 and turn our work and then continue 7 chains, total 8 chains, and then join that ring of 8 chains in this hook with single crochet. Now chain 1 and turn our work, and here we will pick up stitches on card. We have to pick up 20 stitches in this ring. Single crochet and pick up stitch and collect on card like this. Again single crochet and pick up stitch on this card. We have to collect 20 stitches like this, and then 5 single crochets on remaining gap of that ring, and after that join in this gap with single crochet. Now continue picot stitch, make 3 chains, one, 2, 3, and then slip stitch in same gap. Now I will join you after completing one more picot stitch. This is our 5th picot stitch. I have made 3 chains and slip stitch. Now we will continue our remaining part of this fan. Now make 2 chains and then turn our work. Here refer part 2 to join this fan stitches. Now I will continue this work with picot stitch row. Now we will begin picot stitch row. First we will slip stitch and end this row. Now let us begin our picot stitch row. For that, chain 1 and turn our work. Now slip stitch in first gap and again slip stitch in next gap to bring thread in that gap. Now we will continue picot stitch row. Make 3 chains and slip stitch in same gap. Now second time make 3 chains and slip stitch in same gap. Again third time chain 3 and slip stitch in same gap. Continue till the end of the row. In this part we saw how to make this triangle along with this fan and this other fan in the row below. To summarize what we did in this part, while making this second fan, when we reached the second picot stitch, we started making these rings. Then we completed this fan and joined it to the center of this first fan. Then we started making these picot stitches and reached the middle of this second fan. At this point we joined this picot stitch pattern of the bottom fan to the middle of the second fan using a slip stitch and then continued with the remaining picot stitches of the second fan of first row. Finally we joined it to the bottom of this big triangle. From there we made the last column of this big triangle containing 10 small triangles using the usual technique of 5 chains and a double crochet. This completes our pattern. You can include as many fans as you like depending on how long you want your shawl. Let me show you the right method to increase the number of fans in this shawl. These are the 3 fans we had completed. In first column we had 1 fan, in second column 2 fans, and if we want to make third column it will have 3 fans. It is just like this big triangle pattern where we want to increase the numbers of small triangles in it in every successive column. This demo shawl is made up of 5 columns. You can include as many columns as you like depending on how long you want your shawl. So friends, let us wrap up this part here. In next part we will see how to make the border of this shawl. If you like this video, please don't forget to hit that thumbs up icon, and if you are visiting my channel for the first time, click on the subscribe and bell icon to be notified of my upcoming videos. So friends, bye, see you, bye bye.